I'm going to warn you all tonight. I'm in a grumpy mood today. Will's helped. He's already, before we even started, Mr. the Will Stewart came in, dropped some yogurt immediately with 20 gifted members right off the bat. So it's already made it a slightly better night. Yeah, Lucy's salute. You can't hear it. Slap their head harder. Harder so they can really hear it. It's been it's been a weird day today here in Dempsey HQ. I got some important tasks ticked off. They're monotonous, boring, laborious tasks, but I got them ticked off nonetheless. But otherwise, I've just been a bit meh, a bit kind of today. I don't know why. A bit of a grumpy. I've been in a bit of a foul one. People have really fucking irritated me today. Not the wife and children, they've been okay. But people on the whole have really fucking irritated me today. So I thought we'd talk about something a little bit more kind of chilled and interesting and not quite so like controversial or the fucking world's burning to the ground or 40k is the worst thing in the world. Like, I thought we'd avoid all that because I'm in a bit of a grumpy mood. So I thought we'd talk about something interesting. And this comes from me trying to, actually, interesting, this comes from me trying to reignite my 40k passion at the moment, typically with Eldar, obviously, because it's me, okay? And I was looking at them and thinking to myself, how the hell am I going to paint these things? Typically in the past, historically, I've always painted them Simhan colours, which is the red with the white helmets and the black flashes and stuff. That's what I've always done in the past, okay? However, this time round, I'm actually thinking about doing a custom scheme. And I went to the Thanes and I asked them, custom scheme or current scheme for the Eldar. And it just got me thinking about the stream. And I thought, what an interesting conversation to have with you beautiful people out in the community. Custom paint schemes and army schemes versus GW lore accurate. Your own Space Marine chapter or pick a chapter that already exists. Your own Hive Fleet or pick a Hive Fleet that already exists. Your own Eldar craft world or pick a craft world that already exists. And I don't have a preference. In the past, I've painted both custom and I've more often than not actually painted GW lore accurate. I think I've always defaulted to GW lore accurate because there's reference material. So you can go out there, you look at pictures, you can look at images in codexes, you can look at things like the website from Games Workshop, and you've got points of reference, box art, right? And you can go, that's how they've done that bit, I'm going to copy that colour. That's how they've done that bit, I'm going to copy that colour. So historically, I've almost always gone GW lore accurate. On occasion, however, I have done custom. And this time round, I'm thinking about going heavy custom for the craft world. And I wanted to know what you guys think, or what you do and why you do it. Right? That's what I'm hoping for. In the meantime, Cornet Ed, thank you for 5 gifted memberships, you beautiful, beautiful, beautiful human being. I'm looking at doing Eldar race, by the way, Ed. I'm using lots of blacks and reds, I'm thinking, because Viking colours. And all my Wraithguard are axes and shields, because Viking colours, right? Makes sense. Evan, thank you for the 1. And Harbour, Mr. the Vortex Games, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. I haven't sorted your links out yet. I did finally yesterday sort out the dashboard and log into the dashboard and sort out the links, right? But Mr. the Vortex Games, thank you for 5. Not only did you get 5, but you sniped both Kyle and Joe, yeah. Fucking bastards. Not paying. No, I'm joking. They do enough. So thank you so much for the 5 gifted there as well, dude. Thank you so much. We're on 31 off the bat. You wonderful people. Thank you. You can improve my day by literally throwing $1 bills at the screen. Tucking them in my pants. I think they would, though. I think if they got the chance, I think they would. I think they'd come. But anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys would do. If you have a preference, if you're dead against one or the other. I'm just interested, right? What you choose off? I don't know, Kai. Do you ever have one of those days where you're just a bit fucking grumpy? It doesn't seem to be. I didn't sleep well last night. I wasn't going to say anything.
I had my magic curry for dinner last night. I love that stuff. It puts me into some kind of controlled coma that I can come out of in the morning.
Yeah.
I love it.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I slept so badly on Monday night.
So I got home at like 11:30. By the time I'd chilled, showered, got into bed, it was gone midnight. And then fucking Snorlax next to me made sure that I didn't really get to sleep at all.
Well, like you said, I spoke to you.
You did speak to me when I got in, yeah. You did. You were mildly coherent. You literally went to sleep whilst I stood at the bed talking to you. Like, I said something, you responded, I responded to your response, you didn't respond after that. I was like, oh, we're done. Okay.
We're done.
So I think part of it is Luce isn't meant to be muted. No, I think part of it is. Sorry, you were muted.
I tend to go canon for named characters, custom everything else, planning on doing some demon red orcs.
That sounds amazing. That sounds awesome. Thank you for saying that. I think so. I'm thinking about painting Eldrad, right? I think I'll do actual proper colour scheme for him as well. You were muted, by the way. Luce was talking about the fact that she made a. Do you want to tell the story again? I don't want to ruin it.
I made my magic curry, and if you're new here, I set myself a challenge to learn to cook, like actually cook. And one of the things I stumbled across was banana peel curry. And because it's got so much magnesium and potassium in, it helps you sleep. So whenever I can't sleep, I have a good old dollop of magic curry, and then I'm like a bear in winter.
Yeah.
Did you try and roll me over?
No, I'm not even going to try. I was still sore from the gym. So when Luce has a bad night's sleep on Monday night, that means the next night I'm going to fucking suffer.
Because I'm bringing out the big guns.
He's bringing out
magic
the big guns,
curry.
yeah. So I didn't sleep well to start with, right? I already didn't sleep well. So I woke up a bit grumpy this morning because I am not a person who copes very well without sleep. I need good sleep, and then it doesn't need to be a lot. I can do 5 hours and be functional and happy, but it needs to be like solid, and I'm good. I didn't have solid last night. It was lots and lots of getting up and waking up, and so I'm instantly irritable when I wake up, right? Also, down here, it's pissed it with rain all day, but it's still quite hot, so it's been humid as shit, and that's just uncomfortably oppressive all the time. It's wet and fucking miserable outside, but hot and sticky the whole time. That's awful. I walked across to Morrison's to buy some food for the house for the day. Off I walked to Morrison's. I did my shop, walked in, there was no signs, did my shop, got to the checkout. They suddenly put signs up saying that they're no longer accepting contactless payment, and I never take my cards anyway now because I Apple Pay everything. So I had to walk all the way back from Morrison's to pick my card up, to walk all the way back over to Morrison's to then pay for the fucking shopping. And the lady went and took it out back for me, and I was like, she'll realise there's frozen stuff in my basket, so she'll put it out in the freezer. She didn't. So when I got it back, it was half defrosted already by the time I walked back. Anyway, so that annoyed me. On top of which, it must have been pension day. There's about 75,000 fucking pensioners just like dawdling around Morrison's. And I don't know why they decide. I don't know why you get to that age and for every one human step, you must take a 16th of a step. So you're literally just shuffling down the aisle. At the same time, Morrison's has got a fucking great big cafe, which is really good for sitting and having a natter. Or you could just do it in the middle of the fucking aisle when I'm trying to get past.
Pension day is Tuesday and Friday.
Well, they must have got paid yesterday and gone to the shop today. By the time they shuffled to wait for fucking Morrison's, it was today. That's what's happened.
Well, you don't want to do everything on the same day because then you don't need a reason to leave the house, and that's really bad. So I get
tell you
why
what,
they do it.
my annoyance was a reason for them to not leave the house today.
And this is what he's been like, chat. It's been lovely in here. You need some curry.
Stick Monkey, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. Irritable. Really fucking irritable. And I've just had I did some tasks. I took some tasks off that I needed to do, okay? That's a positive. I got some things done. I managed to focus the hyperfocus for a brief moment. I did get some things on that I've been putting off that I finally needed to do. That's good. That's done. That's out of the way. Okay, cool. I then sat here and I had what can only really be described as decision paralysis, right? I needed to. Do I paint Nighthaunt or start painting Lumineth? Well, I didn't really want to go outside to my garage because it was fucking pissing with rain. So the answer is no. And I'm waiting for some.
What's this magic curry recipe, please? I could do with that. I can never sleep. Embarrassed smiley face.
Are you in Discord?
Awful game, TJ is, yeah.
I can put it in my strip. I'll
Yeah.
screenshot it.
So I didn't want to go and paint. I'm also waiting for some paints to turn up that aren't going to get here till Friday. So I built 2 Lumineth models. That was the sum total of my hobby today. In about 3 hours, I couldn't work out what to do. I theoried hammered some lists. I worked out some other bits and bobs. I sat doom scrolling on Instagram, and I've had a really unproductive day. And the problem I have is, and I'm still answering Kai's question. The problem I have is, the more unproductive my day becomes, the grumpier I get because I'm annoyed it's unproductive. And the grumpier that I am, the more unproductive and it becomes a negative spiral. So Lucy's like, what can we do? I was like, well, I'll go to sleep tonight. That's what I can do. And then tomorrow I wake up and it's a restart. I get to go again. And then it's fine. I'll be all right. After a good night's sleep, we'll be okay. Right? But I had decision paralysis today. But I came back from that supermarket. So supermarkets are like, for me, it's like the worst experience.
Supermarket?
They're an awful experience. They're an awful experience. They're never a good experience. Everyone, like, the second it's not even walking in the front door of the shop. It's 2 roundabouts before the supermarket. Everyone forgets how to be a human.
Yeah.
Manners out the window. Driving rules for the road out the fucking window. Selfishness maxed. It's unreal. Anyway.
What we need someone to bitch about, because then you can get it all out. But we can't just bitch about anybody, because not everybody deserves it. So you need someone to bitch about that's properly asking for it, so you can focus all your energy and get it all out. Get it out.
No, that's bad. I don't want to be doing that live on air.
We'll do it about, like, I don't know, people who litter. Get it out.
Anyway, on topic. Decision paralysis with a huge pile of pending work that's sitting on the side of the desk. That's been my day too. That has been my day's been unpredictable. It happens. At the moment, recently it's not been a problem.
For my colour schemes, I just pick what I like. Several times lore and aesthetics will overlap for me. My primary personal example is Hallowed Nights.
That sounds cool. Hello, man. Thank you for the 5, dude. What a legend. Thank you, Awful Gamer, for the 5 as well. At least we'll send you the curry recipe into Discord at some point. Just DM her. I'll allow it. But so yeah, I normally, like, decision paralysis is normally not a massive problem for me with stuff on the desk. It's normally, I actually would rather be surrounded by stuff and keep going than have a clear desk. Because when I have a clear desk, I'm like, what do I get out to then start working on? Normally, when I have 2 or 3 projects on the desk at once, I find it very easy to dip in and out of them, and that keeps me going. Right, that's the thing that keeps me motivated. Today's been the opposite. It's been a struggle because I just didn't want to do anything. I think part of it's because I'm waiting for paints to turn up. Some of the stuff's at the studio that I need to bring home to get to work on. I'm waiting for some glue to turn up for some basing material. Lots of bits that little bits here that I'm waiting for. So what I did is I managed to build, and the first Sentinel, the first Allurian Sentinel that I built for my Lumineth, right? These dudes that have got the bows with 3 strings, right? The first one that I built, I was cleaning that up, getting rid of all the mold lines and stuff, and as I cleaned the last little bit off of the bow, all 3 strings snapped in the same fucking place. I had to glue it back together. And that triggered me massively. That did.
We've all decided we're going to list topics for you to bitch about so you can get it out.
No, it's...
Demogorgon is going to kick us off with roadworks.
Works is not really the right word, though, is it? It's more like road signs, because no one's ever fucking working.
But don't they work at night? Because then there's minimal traffic.
Do they? For what, half an hour? Because it takes them 3 fucking years to do a mile of road. They finished the smart motorway improvement. It's not smart. Nothing fucking smart about that. I hate these cunts as well that invent these stupid buzzwords and to name things to make it sound like they've just made something super. We've unlocked the new smart motorway. It's not smart. There's nothing smart about it.
Hold on. Do we need to give everybody a 30-second making break?
Let's see if we can cheer him up. We've a full house for the test hobby weekend, and the buzz has begun. Luce, we all feel your pain when he is unhappy.
Thanks, guys, for the 5. But they like smart motorway, right? They go, oh, it's a smart motorway. What makes it smart? They've basically got rid of the hard shoulder, right? Which is the bit that people used to use if they were broken down or in trouble. So they've got rid of the safety lane. Great. Also, the hard shoulder was the lane that was used when emergency services needed to get down when traffic is absolutely fucking rammed. So it doesn't sound, to start with, that doesn't sound like a very smart decision, does it? Let's remove the lane that the emergency services can use, and let's remove the lane that people can use when they need to get out the fucking way because something's gone wrong, right? So that's not a particularly smart choice. But it does. Oh, you fucking stop interrupting me.
I used to work at a supermarket during COVID. The police were called 6 times in a month.
What for, Will? Thanks for the 5. So that's a particularly unsmart decision immediately. Then what they've done is they've just turned it into another lane, okay, and they've put little signs up above, right? Little signs. So that you can go in this lane or you can't go in this lane. But that's not smart, because there's some prick in a fucking control centre that decides. Smart would indicate it would just automatically do it itself and figure out the weight of traffic, but it doesn't. So we've got rid of the emergency services lane. So when traffic's so fucking busy that now all of the lanes are full because they've opened them all up, and then some poor prick has an accident, is in trouble, we now can't get emergency service in because we got rid of the hard shoulder.
How do you how would a robot figure out the weight of traffic?
Well, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. It's not smart. Smart is a buzzword that some prick invented to sell his idea to people. And loads and loads and loads of governments, councils up and down the country went, this is a great idea. And they installed it all over the motorways. And they suddenly decided in the courts, it's actually attributing to more casualties because they can't get emergency services anywhere. Almost like that hard shoulder that we had for hundreds of years was useful. Weird, that. Smart motors are dangerous, 100%. The other thing they do is they change the speed on all the smart motorways, and it goes like 70, 60, 50, 70, 60, 50, 50, 60, 70. And that is fucking stupid.
I wonder what the rule is. Do they have a time period that you're allowed to drive through a changed speed limit and you won't get fined because it just changed?
They won't have that. They'll just fine you. They make money out of it. I'll just fine you, Luce. That's what they do. Because the faster people realise that speed cameras in this country have got nothing to do with safety at all. It's to do with making money. That's what all they're to do with. About money.
What about airports? How do you feel about airports today?
I haven't been for a while. My last experience at an airport was phenomenal. So
okay, that's a cold topic, Sean. It's a cold topic.
My last experience at an airport, I went first class, and that was a very nice experience. Very nice experience.
It's a shame that because when you talked about the first class experience.
What about those airports though? Airplane.
Thanks, Sean, for the tweet. Toxic Hobbit, welcome to the channel. As I said here, what a legend. Get yourself a Discord. Exclamation mark Discord.
It's a shame that when you were talking about your first class experience, that came with the price tag of first class, because that sounds absolutely wonderful if you're a person that needs calm.
So I luckily didn't pay first class prices.
No.
To be clear. So I flew to California last year for the launch of the 10th edition. And I flew with Virgin Airlines, and the return flight was like 1,600 quid or something like that for premium economy. And I need premium economy because I'm a big tall fucker with long legs. I can't get away with economy for an 11-hour flight. I'd be so uncomfortable. So I paid for premium economy. And I paid for a seat, which meant that I had plenty of leg room. Cool, perfect. I then was like, I don't use the planes very often. I wonder how much first class is. So I looked at how much first class is. And to upgrade from premium economy to first class was an additional £4,000 to £5,000 each way. So we're talking about 10 grand of upgrade to fly first class. I looked at that price and I went, no, it's never worth it. It's ridiculous. You know, that's unbelievable amounts of money. No. Anyway, about a week, I reckon, week and a half before I left for Titans, I had an email from Virgin saying, we have first class seats available. Would you like to bid for one? What the fuck is this? So I was interested. I logged in. I looked into it. And what they do, essentially, if they don't sell all their first class seats, or upper class, as Virgin call it, they don't sell all their upper class seats, what they do is they essentially auction them off to other passengers and be like, you can bid for it. You tell us how much you're prepared to pay. So I went into the slider and I slid it all the way to the left, to the lowest possible it would let me slide it to. And let me slide it down to £470, right? I was like, it was 5 grand. 470 seems okay. But I reckon every single person's going to go click all the way to the left, go. So what I did is I slid it all the way to 470 and I went up to around 500. Satisfies my tism when it's a nice round number. Mm-hmm. So I slid it up to 500 and I put bid on the flight. I then found out 2 days before I left I was successful and I went to first class. Whilst I was out there, I got the same email for the return journey, did the exact same thing. My theory is most people go all the way to the left and they'll just give it to the highest bidders. So because I went up by 3 to 500 from 470 because it was £10 increments, I assume that's why I was successful. So I actually got 10 grand worth of upgrades for £1,000. And that was a phenomenal experience. And if it was always just an extra 500 quid for a flight that length, I'd probably pay it. If I was okay for money, I'd probably pay it. At 5 grand wasn't worth it. But yeah.
Well, when you told me about it, you said that you went to like a waiting area, but it was really quiet, and even the lighting. So when I
turned up at the airport, all the Virgin Atlantic check-in desks, then there's the upper class check-in desk, straight to the front. Took my bags off me immediately, my hold luggage off me immediately. They then said, you go through here to go into passport control or border control, but don't go forward, go up the stairs. There's a little door to your left, go through that little secret door, use your ticket to scan through, go through those. So I did that. You go upstairs, you go to private security. So you don't queue with the meh, or the sheep that I had a problem with before, meh, as they're all walking around the fucking queue. You don't queue with those people. You don't queue with the peasants. No, we have the private security, and then it's very relaxed, very, very chill. No queue, straight through.
It's not. It doesn't even sound like for me. It's the label of upper or first or any of those other fancy pants words. All I'm hearing is calm.
Yeah, 100%.
Dim lighting.
And then, so once I'd gone through passport security, at that point, because you're an upper class customer, you get to go and use the lounge, their own lounge. So I went into their lounge, and I went up to the bar. I was talking to this guy behind the bar, mostly because he was interested in my tattoos. And he was like, "Can I get you a drink?" I was like, "Have you got a menu?" And he gave me a menu. I was like, "There's no prices." He said, "No. All food and drink is complimentary." I was like, "Oh, is it?" I'll have a bacon sandwich. I'll have a bacon sandwich, and I'll have one of those, and I'll have some eggs Benedict, and I'll have this, and I'll have a pint of that. I sat with this fucking feet in front of me, like, get in. And I stuffed myself in the lounge. You then get, like, someone comes up to you and says, just so you know, your flight's about to board soon. I was like, oh, fuck, shit. Because I got carried away, but he sat there. So I waddled off to the gate with my backpack, got to the gate, and because you're an economy customer, you just go straight through onto the plane. No sitting around, no waiting. Straight through onto the plane. Yeah. Got onto the plane, and you're sat in this like little private, because it's business class or upper class, you get sat in this little private booth. I was like, fucking hell. The waitress comes up to me and was like, can I offer you some, I say waitress, sorry, air hostess. Can I offer you some champagne? I was like, no, it's disgusting. And then she said, here's the menu. And I'm like, with the fucking menu? Salmon to start. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, so she then set me up for food. Proper metal cutlery and little like salt and pepper shakers and like little gold airplanes and stuff like that. I had the food. And then after, she's like, if you want me to convert your seat into a bed for you, I can do that at any point. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, it was fucking incredible. It's
a shame that sounds like a very like Sen-friendly way to do that whole thing, and it's a shame that it's only really accessible.
The only thing that upper class or first class or whatever that, in my experience so far, doesn't solve is when you get off the plane at the other side. So you get off the plane at the other side. At that point, Virgin are like, we're done with you now. You're here. You're in America.
Yeah.
And then you go through passport control with everybody else. So on the other side, you then have to queue with the masses and queue with the sheep. That being said, I've landed at that point. I'm at my destination. Yeah. I feel like I'm okay. I'm okay to wait in that part. I don't feel like that's so bad. I don't know why.
90% of the anxiety.
Yeah. The travel anxiety. So that's part of what it is. The travel anxiety's gone because I've got there. I've landed. I'm on time. So the travel anxiety's gone. So I don't have a problem queuing at that point. I'm kind of more chilled about it. But yeah, interesting. Anywho, there you go. So.
Okay, well, we're doing roadworks or
we're supposed to be talking about paint schemes, chat. GW law accurate or custom?
Okay, we've done that bin. Box ticked. Then we've done
We haven't done that. We haven't done that part at all. No one's told me. Like what two people told me before you started to derail me, chat.
Two people have told you, and now chat are derailing.
I've always been a law accurate person. Always. I want to go custom for my Eldar. I think I might actually get some painting done if I do that. I'm not sure. I do like Will's idea. I like the idea of going lore accurate for the named characters like Avatar or Eldrad and then custom for the rest. I'm kind of into that. And that way, if you base everything the same, that works. Lore accurate only. Why, Brian? Why? Remember getting a plane back from Dubai as a full screw at the time. I was a scum plus premium. Was lush, wasn't next to the toilet with no walls. Custom scheme every time. Custom every time. Oh, interesting. Custom. Lots more people are custom. Nothing better than pouring through the books to pull in lore bits. I do like that. I am a fan of that. I've done like 90% lore accurate, 10% custom, and I'm thinking about swapping and changing for the Eldar. Lore accurate only by if you were to paint something, go on.
I'm misreading so many things. I just read that as lore accurate, but I have my own establishments. What?
Would you, like, if you had, I mean, you've never done this before, really.
Yeah.
You kind of started, but didn't. Would you want to just completely create your own colour scheme and go wild and do what the fuck you want? Or would you want to go and find reference material and try and replicate and copy something? How would you do it? How would you approach it as a person who doesn't really know the lore or the...
I think I wouldn't be competitive. So I think I'd be lore anyway. I'd probably go and find
So you'd probably try and copy something that already exists.
Yeah, I think the reason why I didn't do my orcs was because the possibilities were too big.
Yeah, I do. So I do wonder if it becomes challenging for people with certain neurological issues is the word that I would use. Like when you go, here's a model, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. Some people are like, too much freedom, too much freedom. When you go, here's a model and here's a picture, copy that. Some people will go, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can copy that colour. I can paint that bit red and that bit brown.
Yeah.
Did you know people don't paint their Marines blue and gold? It's proper weird. I don't understand, but people do the weirdest things.
Oh, thanks, Dick Monkey, for the 5, dude. What a legend. It is the weirdest things, isn't it? Why would you paint your stuff blue and gold? Ugh. Brother, ugh. Why is that not hearting?
It is. It's come up on mine as hearting.
There you go, fixed it. Okay, cool.
Liam hearts Sean.
I heart Sean.
Yeah.
Howling Banshees and Striking Scorpions, lore accurate, race and guardians, etc. custom. That's what I'm thinking about doing. That's exactly what I'm thinking about doing, John. And then I was like, well, actually, do I just do the whole army in my custom scheme and paint all the Banshees and the Scorpions in my custom scheme as well and be super different to... So here's my question for you, chat, for my Eldar. What do? So I think I'm going to go custom. Do I go custom as well for all of the aspect shrines and paint everything in my scheme? And if you look at the thumbnail of the video, there's an example of the scheme I'm thinking about doing on that thumbnail. Or do I custom everything bar aspects and named characters? And for aspects and named characters, do I paint them lore accurate? Help me, chat. Help me, chat Kenobi. You're my only hope.
It's a trap.
Help me. Tell me. Now. This green tea's nice. I'm happy with this. Don't forget to hit the like button. Oh yeah, do this thing. And the member button. Exclamation mark member, exclamation mark gift, exclamation mark grift. Base it on an idea, e.g. NIDS natural colours, Necrons metallic, Space Marines grey military colours. Interesting. I'm not a fan of the Flesh Terror icon, so I'll be changing that. All my Eldar aspects are custom, but the helmets have traditional aspect colours. That's interesting. I like that. Star Wars Legion, where I've got the real OCD problems. How do I base everything? Stormtroopers on snow bases is wrong, but then they don't match the snow troopers if I go for something else. That would really irritate me. Aspects lore accurate, just custom everything. Scorpions and other aspects belong to their respective shrines and their scheme is fire. It is all custom though. I like the idea of trying all custom everything. My schemes are 70% lore, 20% custom, 5% NA. Aspects and name characters, lore paint accurate. Always custom, always. For everything. This is interesting. I think I'm actually tempted to give it... I think the idea of a full Eldar army all in a custom scheme is singing to me a little bit. It is. Will, you've done enough, Will. You've already gifted 20 before. Don't think I didn't see it. I saw the 20 before the stream. Thank you for 10 more, man. What a legend. What a hero. What a guy. Up to 47, chat.
What a man.
What a guy. For my aspects, I combine my schemes with their lore colours. So for yours, do the Shining Spears the normal white, but change the blue to red to match the rest of the army. Interesting. Went lore friendly for my Household Luck Knights, purple, black, and gold, but then based my 3D printed Feudal Guard on the same colour scheme as their supporting guard troops. That sounds fucking cool. What do you love? Do you love the aspect warriors? Do you love sick models? I love aspect warriors. I love all of it. I do a mix. My favourite is lore accurate, but with changes to make it more my liking. Interesting. I've always gone lore accurate. And I think it's because of exactly what Luce was saying earlier. I think it's because it's very easy then to go on the website or whatever and go, oh, there's the colour scheme. I'm just going to copy that. Or what's on the box. That's the colour scheme. I'm just going to copy what's on the box. The other thing I find is, if you go lore accurate, let's say you pick Simhan, or you pick Ultramarines, or you pick Blood Angels, right? And you go lore accurate, what you can do is you can go onto YouTube and you can go how to paint Simhan, how to paint High Fleet Kraken, how to paint Ultramarine, search, and there will be guides out there. If I go how to paint Liam's custom Eldar, there's no guides. There's no guides.
So then Squid touches on a point as well. If you go custom, you don't have to worry about doesn't look like the box thing. I definitely break my own heart over the fact that my model doesn't look like the picture.
That's a problem I have had 100%.
But the custom thing, the idea is too big. There's too much I'd want to do.
Yeah, I mean, often as well, when you look at the box art as well, you have to realise it's painted by GW's top-end painters. Yeah. So box art's painted by the Heavy Metal team, which is their top-end painters, and then photographed specifically to be box art. So there's no mistakes. They make sure there's no mistakes.
I think it's because when people end up doing something like
Custom mostly, as I know if I try to do a law scheme I will get depressed when I can't paint like
That's
GW
exactly what
pictures.
I've done, Fritters. That's what we're talking about now. That's exactly what I've done. 100%. Sorry, Lisa, you were saying?
I think because if you, say for example, if you have watched a sporting thing or something like skateboarding, we all knew who Tony Hawk was years and years ago. Because you'll find out about that person and then you'll see them do their training and then how many years it took to get there, how many broken bones it took to get there, that when they do their greatest ever half pipe or whatever, you can really appreciate that. So then you know you're not going to be as good as that, and that's easier to accept. You never really...
For £6,500 I know a guy who will consult with you on a custom Eldar Army Orange and Ego. Bargain.
I love you very, very dearly, you beautiful little Welsh man. But fuck off.
I think for things like art, because there seems to be a really heavy theme that you are just that creative. Yes, you train and you discipline at honing in your skill, but I guess there needs to be a huge dose of natural talent there, that you can just draw these things, they come out amazing. Because you don't really see that, you don't really see the broken bones of learning to be good at art versus bloody Tony Hawk, that then you do have this kind of warped idea of, oh, it can look like the box, and then you break your own heart because it doesn't. Yeah,
I've touched on this before, like how I've often found that Instagram is so I've got two Instagrams. I've got my hobby one and then my personal one, which is kind of basically more focused on bikes than anything else, because that's my other passion I love. And actually, I always, before I close my Instagram app, I always default to my bike profile. So when I open it the next time, it's on that profile. And typically when I scroll through things like reels and pictures, I'll scroll through that particular profile. And that's because I found that my hobby profile, which is the channel one, for scrolling, can be quite negative for me. And the reason why it can be quite negative for me is because I follow some quite phenomenal painters. Right? People like Rich Gray, David Soper, Angel Geraldes, I can never say his name. There's a few others whose names I won't try, I'll probably butcher. Like literal Fletcher from fucking Tactics. Literal phenomenal painters. And when you scroll through and see what they're doing, I'm like...
Never gonna happen.
I can't do that. No, I've painted to a standard. I've painted to a standard before when the majority of people, and I mean genuinely the majority of people would look at that particular model and go, holy shit, that's really nice. That's incredible. Yeah. And I still look at those people's models and be like, yeah, but it's not as good as that. I haven't done that. And of course I haven't, because I haven't put the hours in or practiced like they've practiced or painted like they've painted. But I found it was quite negative. And I've often found that that's the case with box art as well.
So I get hyper worried about painting to a point I get paralyzed about named characters and established factions. So custom all the way just because of that freedom, as well as being able to write a bit of lore for my own characters, places, etc.
Thanks for the $50, you beautiful human. I like that quite a lot, though. I'm a fan of that. I like that. I think this is where this conversation is quite interesting, though, right? Because it's quite literally. I can see why people love the idea of being able to research lore accurate, see the photos, see the pictures, look at the box art, look at the website, and then accurately represent that. I like that. I'm a fan of that. I can see why people will be like, that's my safety zone. I don't have to worry about the creative freedom and the paralysis from what colours do I use? How do I start? Where's my base? What's my mid-tone? What's my highlight? I get that. Equally, I think that on the flip side, I like the idea of people going, yeah, but I know if I paint that army that colour, it's not going to look like that. And then I'll be constantly comparing. So if I do something that's completely my own and completely creatively free, there's nothing to compare it to. And when I take it to an event, no one can tell me that the Blood Angels Devastator helmets are the wrong colour, because I've done my own scheme. So those little lore sticklers who are like, that's the wrong shade of grey for Space Wolves, you're like, fuck off, because I've done my own thing. But they do exist, unfortunately. They do. Anyway, we've got some gifters that have come through. Thank you, Will, for the 10 who kicked it off, because then Deathwing Duck, the duck who is Deathwing, he dropped in with 5 gifted memberships, you legend.
The duck who has wings of death.
Star Pilot, who's just donated the big pink one, also dropped 20 gifted. Aren't you supposed to be saving for a flight? Star Pilot's supposed to be coming over for the Thanes weekend in October for the Spearhead Bootcamp. I'll allow it because we were behind the members, but. And then Mr. the Wee Man comes in and drops 10. Wee Man drops his yogurt and drops 10 members as well. Oh my god! Have you spent 30 hours on a single model? I have spent I think the one I spent the most time painting, I probably spent about 20 hours to 25 hours painting one model, right? Here's the other thing as well. I painted an Eldar Farseer on a jet bike, and I was incredibly proud of that paint job. Incredibly proud of that paint job. It was clean, it was crisp, it was beautiful. I painted a custom pattern on the cowling. I was very, very pleased. It was very, very well, for me, it was very well done. I then got out Games Workshop's can of matte varnish, right?
No.
So once you've painted a model, you almost should always varnish it. Because if you don't varnish it and it rubs on a carry case, you just rub the paint off.
Oh.
Because it just scratches the paint. So obviously Warhammer models are full of spears and swords and pointy helmets and stuff. So when you travel them in carry cases of foam and the point rubs on the foam, it can rub the paint off. Equally, your hands, your oils on your hands can destroy the paint. My oils seem to absolutely love dissolving Games Workshop Citadel colour off of models. So when I handle my models when I'm painting them, I've got tons of butt plugs, because if I hold the model like this and paint it, I'm not touching it. I don't rub the paint off. If I hold the model like this and touch it, I rub the paint off with my fingers. So I almost always base coat, then varnish, then paint, then varnish again. Because if I base coat and I don't varnish, my fingers will literally rub it off down to bare plastic and it'll go grey again. That's how much my oils just destroy paint on models, right? So I painted this Farseer. I then got Games Workshop's trusty can of matte varnish, and I'd never really varnished a model before. Read the instructions, followed the instructions to the letter, sprayed it, and it looked like someone had come on my model. It all went cloudy, grey, and speckled everywhere. It fucked it completely. I got hold of Waller. Straight away I was like, what the fuck has happened? And he went, you can save it, you need to do this. And I did what he told me, and it sort of saved it maybe 60%.
Wow.
But not 100%. And I was like, all that time,
You're not gonna
20 plus hours, and that's so heartbreaking and disheartening. You're like, I don't want to do it again. I don't want to go through that again. So that's happened to me in the past. Deathwing Duck, you're a legend. Thank you for 10 more, by the way. I started painting my army one colour, then found another colour scheme I prefer, and now I want the rest of the new scheme. I've done that. I've 100% done that before as well. 100% I've done that. Absolutely no doubt. That's why I love Deathwatch. So many cool options to kit bash and pull from the lore. Well, I was. They murdered him.
I feel custom paint jobs are way cooler because it is unique and shows a lot of imagination and rules of cool.
I think for my Eldar, I'm going to go custom paint job. At the moment, what I'm thinking also is I'm going to go custom for all of the aspect shrines as well. And then I can share that journey with you people. Right? Another thing but encouragement. Brandon, thank you for 5 gifted memberships, you fucking beautiful human. Up to 87 chat already. Look at you lot go. We are 13 away from target, and we're not even an hour in. Thank you. You're amazing. Spray varnish is terrible. I've got some airbrush polyurethane varnish from, I think it's Vallejo that I put through the airbrush. That's actually okay.
What if you don't do the varnishing at all and you just magnetize? And because you've got loads of fancy pants ones anyway, they probably can't go in the phone. So then
I still want to varnish for handling. I've got an airbrush varnish now that I've used and it's good. Okay. It works. But I do have my favourite carry case now is from a company called Battle Foam. Not sponsored at all. Never had any free product from them. Company called Battle Foam. They do a system called the Magna Rack. Right? It's expensive. You can do this much cheaper by using really useful boxes. And there's like mag something or whatever, War Mag or whatever, as a company that are also pretty good. They literally send you War Mag sends you magnets that are the same size as your bases. So you just pop them out, they self-adhese into the model, right? And then I have Magna Rack from Battle Foam, and that system is a backpack. It's about this big, right? You zip the front down, the front drops down, and there's racks of magnet trays, and you pull them out like a tray, and it just rolls out, and then what a system. And I've taken stuff to events in that system before. Highly recommend. 100%. In fact, the magnets were so good that I took Magnus as painted by Siege on the Magna Rack system, and the magnets were so good I slid the bottom tray out, which Magnus was on, grabbed hold of the model and pulled it, and his base stayed on the fucking tray, and his feet came off the base. So I was like, need some super glue. Yeah, what is it? It's, the one I've been using is that I've had good luck with so far is Vallejo's polyurethane. It's literally designed for airbrush. It's a little bottle about that big. It's got like a blue label on the front. It says Vallejo polyurethane matte varnish. But there might be better out there. I refuse to use it for a rattle can anymore. Always airbrush varnish, AK or Vallejo matte makes it worth the cost of the airbrush. 100% Morty Hammer. I completely agree. Purple and yellow. Oh, I like that. Red black. I like red black as well. I'm a big fan of red black. I'm going to go red black. I'm thinking about going, right, for reference, I'm thinking about going black on all of the armor, red on helmet, shoulder pads, wraith bone color sword shields. This is the first time in forever I've got an actual vision in my head as to what I want it to look like. Been painting by hand since the late 80s. I suppose I should at least try an airbrush. You don't need to. 100% you don't need to. Airbrush, I don't use it for much. I use it for base coating and for varnishing. So for example, Belfanos here, I haven't touched this guy with an actual physical brush yet. So he's brown, you can't see because of the lighting, but he's Rhinox hide. The bug's red, all for an airbrush, ready for a brush. I'll do nothing else with an airbrush on this model. That's just airbrush so far to give me a base coat. Right?
No flavor 40k means you can mix color schemes.
Well, here's the other thing. Thank you, Sean, for the 2. Here's the other thing. Here's my concern, right? Currently, Games Workshop have said to you that you can paint your Space Marines any colour you want. It doesn't matter because no particular detachment is locked to a chapter. And that used to be the case years and years and years and years ago. And then they changed it to your colour locks you to your detachment. Now they've changed it back. This is Games Workshop. There is nothing to say that in 12th edition they don't go, Ultramarines, this is your detachment now. If I go custom, that's never a concern for me in the future. Never. Because they're like, oh, if you are Ulthway, you've got to be this way. I'm not Ulthway. I'm my own custom craft world. So tough. I paint by hand, never had the urge. I do the majority by hand. I prefer much prefer painting by hand. A lot more control. I also don't like an overly airbrushed look. I'm more if someone shows me an incredible fade from a white to a dark blue, right? And I've seen Waller do this, okay? If that's done by an airbrush, I'm like, most people can do that. It's not hard. If that's done by hand with a paintbrush with glazing, I then find it really impressive. Especially when you look at, like, I've seen people do it by hand, and you pull it up and you cannot see the transition from white to dark blue. It literally perfectly transitions all the way through the color. Like, that's impressive shit with an actual brush, not with an airbrush. Amazing what I've watched people do. Can you recommend any 40k army that's different to my melee-based AOS armies other than Space Marines? Votan would be quite cool. It's a easy paint scheme to paint. There are lots of guns, I guess. If you like squats and dwarfs, Votan are very different to melee-based AOS armies. Tau, also pretty cool. Because you have significant access to lots of battlesuit robot type stuff, big guns, big weapons, mostly shooting focused. If you are okay with a bit of both, Tyranids are a beautiful model range now. They do have lots of shooting, but you also have then the access to lots of melee. Eldar are a stunning range, a bit of both though, to be honest with you. They're the 4 I'd probably suggest for best ranges and the best variety, I'd guess. That being said, Votan don't have a lot of variety. They're just good shooting, right? There you go. There's an answer for you. Exactly why I went custom, so I don't need to worry about GW and their stupid ideas. 100%. Absolutely. Absolutely. Where did you go?
Just check on the boys.
Oh, they haven't killed each other yet.
No, not yet.
Little fucking grass out here, honestly. He's such an arsehole, that boy. Average at best when I eventually get to paint the models. Yeah, stippling through glazes is a god level skill, so time consuming that I can't do it because after the 300th hour, the model will get chugged. I've binned models before. Have you, hands up in chat, if you've painted a model, got to a point and gone, and then actually binned it?
No.
I've actually binned a model before. I've got so down about it, I've binned it.
Put it in the bin?
Put it in the bin.
No.
I painted it. I got to a point where I was like, I'm really not happy how this is coming out. I don't like the color composition. I don't like the scheme. I then put it in. There's a magical fucking goop that I've got. BioStrip
Yeah.
2.0. Put it in BioStrip because BioStrip is amazing at taking the paint off. Put it in BioStrip. Let it soak in BioStrip. Started gently rubbing the paint off of an old paintbrush, and 2 bits of it snapped. Binned it. Fuck this. Binned it. I was so angry. Literally put it in the bin.
Did you feel better for putting it in the bin?
Yes.
So you didn't want to see it ever again?
And then I went and bought the same model again to start all over again. But yeah, binned it. 100%. I've done it once, though. Once. That's literally the only time I've binned it. Because I did such a bad job. And I guess it's not just the bad job, it's the fact that I then put it in BioStrip. It then broke in 2 places, and I was like, I'm done with this model.
It's a sign.
I've had I've had enough of this model, yeah. Just one, literally just one. In my whole Warhammer life, I've binned one for that reason. Yeah. That's it. Just one model.
I know I said no, because I thought it was really like you were just sort of beating yourself up. But actually, if you don't want to look at it anymore and actually putting it in the bin, would be better.
Literally done it once. Honestly, BioStrip 22. BioStrip is golden. There's a number of times as well. I use old bright colour spray paints from GW, which were the old ones, were literally the worst product they've ever made ever in the history ever. And it comes on all cakey, and I've put it in BioStrip, cleaned it off, and then sprayed it again with a different colour. It's been fine. 100% BioStrip is a god tier product.
It smells like marzipan.
It kind of does actually, yeah, a little bit, I think. God tier products, BioStrip 2.0. I don't know where I get mine from, at eBay maybe, but yeah, really, really good. Really, really good stuff. Bought a whole new model start again, yeah, I've done that. I have 2 Avatar of Canes, the plastic kits. I have 2 avatars. Because I painted one, hated it, bought a second one. Didn't bin that one though.
I was going to say, is that one in the bin?
Gave it to Joe for his Eldar army that he wants to build and said, I've started painting it, do what you want with it. He's like, okay, I will. And Joe will salvage it, so. I binned a Warhammer time. No, you didn't, Kai. Did you? Never binned a mini. I have a bunch of experiments though. Yeah, like I said, it's only that one. Only that one. Manager at local games workshop back in the early 2000s didn't just bin a Lamarties, he destroyed it, got hurled across the store and stamped on.
In front of everyone. Wow.
Amazing. Element Games sell BioStrip. Do they? Straight up, I didn't know. Chris, have you still not got a membership? Chris is exclamation mark sniped me every single fucking stream for the last 2 weeks. He's like this.
Well, he failed to tell us he's an internet gymnast. So...
He's dodging all the snipes.
Yeah. That's on you, Chris.
Chris is a sniper's nightmare.
He's all zigzaggy.
Yeah. He's got one leg shorter than the other, so when he walks, he does this. Don't throw away, but it gave me an old metal war walker to my friend because it was done with it when I was young and amazing. I'm kidding. It was a Phantom. Fuck off. I have in my studio, in a box, not sealed, opened, but never touched, I have a Eldar Revenant Titan with Sonic Lances. It's in my box, in a box, in the studio. And I promised myself I wouldn't open it until I'd painted 2,000 points of Eldar. That was my rule. No, not open it, sorry. I wouldn't build it until then. So I've got a reason to do Eldar in the future. That, and I really miss having my own army. I've said this so many times, and I always keep fucking saying it and not doing anything about it, but... If I can find an easy scheme, my plan is airbrush all the blacks on. So I do some quick airbrushing with the blacks to get the black done. And then I'll paint the reds by hand, paint the bone by hand, wash it and add 1 highlight layer. Done. 3 colours sorted, right? I'm not loose, can confirm. Chris said he's the new Munch. You are. Tony, thank you for the 5 gifted. You missed him though. He's still...
Chris will say he's not me, but we're not in the same room. So nobody can confirm that we're 2 separate people.
I can't really put a camera on you either with sat there like that.
My day off.
No clothes on a day off, honestly. Not sure I'm supposed to get anything done. As my name might imply, I'm far too much of a stinge to even consider binning a model. I even kit bash all my leftovers into X models for proxies and terrain. I truly am a scrounger king. That's amazing. I love it.
That sounds amazing. Kit bashing into terrain.
Yeah. I'm not loose, can confirm. Carl says that's what Loose would say.
Yeah, see?
Would you recommend starting with 40k or should I just wait for 11th edition while I'm enjoying AOS? The trying to be positive me, Yoni, would say dive into 40k. It's a completely different system. You won't have fun with it.
If you have a clear vision, go for it. That's the tipping point for me on if I do a custom scheme or not.
I feel like I do at the moment, Elec Man. I feel like I do. Thanks for the 5. I feel like I do. I feel like I'm excited for it for a change. So, And if these paints are up on Friday, there's possible that I can get base colours down over the weekend so that Monday's hobby stream, I could be painting some Eldar on stream. But we'll see. So they're trying to be positive me. They're trying to pull myself back into the world of 40k and enjoy it me because I miss the sci-fi setting and the lore of 40k. Says, jump in, it's a completely different game. The logical version of me, if you're enjoying AOS right now, says don't. Just wait for 11th edition. Because it could be wasted money and everything could change. We don't know. Hi CJ, it's Liam here. I need this Revenant painting. How much? Okay, right. Luce, can you get me one of the kids and one of the other's kidneys?
A kid and a kidney?
A kid and a kidney. Well, yeah, it's siege prices, isn't it, to be fair? Maybe the reveal later be by 10.5 where they fix stuff. Maybe. I know it won't be. It won't be. I'm afraid, Danny, but boy, it almost definitely won't be. I used to spend hours covering my metal Chaos Marines. The amount of they pin tiny pieces of my corn dreadnought is ridiculous. I kind of miss metal minis, but I also don't at the same time. Are you going to go in on boarding actions when the new book comes? We have the new book. Probably not. I've got to a point now where I call it boring actions. I think I'm not kind of here for it. What I think we might do for 40k is just bring in like a random rule every time. Like, you've got to use a force organization chart, or you can't move through ruins, or I don't know. I'm not sure. Paint your Eldar lore friendly, covered in fire. How dare you, Prime Lever! I want to make some suggestions for the scheme, but I don't want to compromise your vision. However, I will make the suggestion. Paint all the spirit stones or paint spirit stones. I also like painting spirit stones. Still the same plan for the Liam and Ojo show tomorrow. The Liam and Ojo show tomorrow is the Liam and Paddy show. I think Kyle's going to be in the background as well. So, a whole week without Joe and we might be all right. We're also 8 away. Oh, fuck me, we're also 8 away. What have you done, look? Look at that. I hated painting metal minis. Hated building and painting metal minis. Hated it. The building part was horrific. They're metal, right? When you used to try and glue an arm on and you'd hold it there for like 10 minutes, let go, arm go dunk. Oh, fuck's sake.
Why didn't you all just use Araldite then?
Well, I did. That's why I have it for metal miniatures.
Oh my god,
That's how I discovered Araldite was metal miniatures, right? Because then also the metal almost never fucking perfectly married up. So if you mix enough Araldite and you squidged it in, I was a kid at the time, remember? You go, what does it fills all the gaps, and you smooth off the edge of your finger, and you end up with this perfect solid resin piece in between. Amazing stuff, right? So that's why I used to use Araldite. Because I was too fucking lazy to pin things. Because what you were supposed to do is drill into one piece, drill into the other piece, get a little bar of metal, and then you use it to pin it, and then you put glue on it. That's what you used to.
Did they provide the little bars of
No,
metal?
did fuck?
Where are you getting them?
It's a
from,
hobby,
then?
Loose. Jesus. And then, so I didn't like that. The painting, it was also, they were worse for rubbing paint off than the plastics were, obviously, because sharp metal. And then it got to the playing part. The playing part was great because it was a big fucking chunky model, and it felt like you were moving something heavy around. I like that one. Mordihammer, thank you for the one gifted. Someone still hasn't got Chris. Painting metal minis for the win after years of just gluing them. Not long until I gifted you buttloads of subs, mate. New job is going wonderfully. Just no more time for painting. What is a new job? Tell us. Congrats, by the way. I hope you're enjoying it. Ever tried Mordheim? I haven't, no. I've heard lots of things about it, though. People rave about it. Back in the old times, you only had metal minis. Plastic models were shite back then. They were really bad, yeah. Paper clips. We used to use paper clips. Just cut out paper clips and use them to pin.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, how would Games Workshop build the metal one?
They would have pinned it as well.
That's a bit sneaky.
I would argue that there was more kind of hobbying going on back then because you do a lot more converting, kit bashing, pinning, building from scratch. Games Workshop, in some of their old publications, would give you converting guides where they tell you how to cut out plasticard and glue it to their models and completely change the way things look. They don't do that anymore. Like, no, only use what we sell, nothing else. They used to give you hints and tips as to stuff that you could use. Like, they used to be like, here's how you build terrain. Take this old bean can. They won't do that anymore. They don't tell you that anymore.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it used to be in like White Dwarf and stuff. Used to be a bit more of a...
That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
I kind of miss that old Blue Peter vibe terrain
like
stuff.
Art Attack. Like,
Yeah.
here's an egg box.
I think arguably for 40k in iOS at the moment, 40k definitely, I don't know about iOS, but 40k definitely, one of the most expensive parts about playing a full game of 40k at the moment is to buy the terrain, because it's fucking expensive. Games Workshop terrain is fucking expensive.
Yeah.
So that's why loads of other companies like GameMat.eu, UrbanMaps.com have done really well off of selling pre-printed, pre-painted terrain for people. But that's still pretty pricey. And they used to do articles about how to kit. I kind of miss this. I'm like, GW, cool, sell me all your cool plastic kits for your models, but tell me how I can make terrain out of fucking Pringles cans and baked bean tubs. And like, that's cool as shit.
Yeah.
Do that. I'm into that, but they don't anymore.
Because they could have done, like, instead of Warhammer 40,000, it could be Warhammer 4,000. How to get the kids involved. Make your own terrain. Make
your own terrain is, I would love to see that kind of shit come back to Games Workshop, but they won't, because when they're telling you how to stick an egg box to a bean can and then do this to make it the right shape and paint it all, well, they're not doing it at that point. It's selling you any product. So they won't. What they couldn't do instead is go, here's a terrain kit, it's 80 quid.
But it must have been okay back then, because they were still selling stuff.
Before shareholders and, of course. Absolutely. Capitalism. Now be capitalism. So they're not going to go back there. They won't go back there. They'll go, we could show them how to make this super custom piece of terrain, or we could just make it ourselves out of plastic and sell it to you for a lot more money.
That is such a crying shame, because when me and James went to the little Warhammer club in Totton, and one of the teenagers pulled out of a bag this Titan that was like handicrafted at home out of bits and bobs, I was honestly gobsmacked for the whole hour. Not only did somebody make that, but in the world where there's phones, iPads, screens, all the rest, they still made that.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
It's mad. We had who was I talking to the other day about homemade Blue Peter stuff? Was it Brom?
What was it that was homemade?
Tracy. Do you know what Tracy Island is?
Thunderbirds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was talking about Blue Peter made Tracy Island the other day. So when me and my brother were kids, it was on Blue Peter how to make a Tracy Island with paper mache and all this shit, right?
I thought Blue Peter was a posh kids program.
And we were like, want that shit? Now we were very, very lucky that Mum and Dad actually bought us Tracy Island.
Oh, okay.
And we were literally talking to Brom. Brom has recently bought his. So I don't think he'll mind me telling. They've been potty training their little one. He's what is he, 3, AJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been potty training their little one. And when he gets certain rewards on his chart for potty training properly, he's been getting like rewards, and they've been getting him the Thunderbirds, because what he's into right now is the Thunderbirds, right? And then they've bought him the new Tracy Island, which sounds much cooler than the one I had back then. It does many more things than the one that mine did. Many more things. Like the fucking rocket shoots out. I was like, no, I used to have to put a little switch for the pool to go, because a bit of plastic, and then I had to go myself, right? That's what I had to do with Tracy Island. And he was talking about the Blue Peter one. I was like, it's amazing that he still, Brom still remembers that.
Yeah.
He's 37. I still remember that. And I just wish GW were like, you know what? This hobby is expensive. As long as we're selling you the models, we're happy.
Yeah.
Because terrain for most people is a one and done thing. You buy it once, you're done.
Yeah.
A lot of people will buy an army and be like, what's the next army I can collect?
Yeah.
So why don't they just lean more into, here's how you build your own terrain? I think it'd be super cool.
That's such a shame that they couldn't do a kids range Warhammer 4,000, how to get you into terrain or something.
I think that'd be cool.
Warhammer 40,000 is like the actual official.
I think they use. Someone said in the chat earlier they used to sell their own terrain making book.
Yeah.
Like they should do that 100%. I'd love to at some point in the future. It's not soon. At some point in the future, I'd love to give Joe a ton of shit, and I mean like shit, like Pringles tubes, baked bean cans, egg boxes,
challenging.
blah 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 blah. I'm like, can you make a cool table's worth of terrain out of this stuff and film him making it, and put it into a series and be like, this is what you can make with standard shit from home.
Do you know what? You should do that. You should say, Joe, do your weekly shop as normal. Any bits of cardboard or plastic that doesn't have food on, keep it to one side, bring it to work.
You could probably even wash most of it anyway.
But things like...
Can you do a reward chart for Joe?
Well done for taking the recycling out, Joe.
Scrounger King says confirmed. Brom is potty trained.
I heard a really interesting fact when I was tearing my hair out trying to get Ben potty trained. Apparently, on average, boys don't potty train until around 4 or 5 years old anyway, because they're just slower off the mark. But once they've got it, they've got it. So everyone who's tearing their own hair out trying to potty train a 3-year-old.
But Joe's 36, dude.
I know, there's still hope though. There's still hope. However, if you have a girl, they'll potty train much earlier because girls are quicker off the mark. On average, there's obviously exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
So I might just give Brom a cuddle and be like, it's okay if it's not quite going to plan.
Lucy, you got Tracy Island. It must be working. Where do you go from there? I feel like they might have fucked themselves a bit here. There's 5 Thunderbirds and a Tracy Island. That's it.
If I was AJ, I'd be thinking, well, I got this for putting that in the toilet.
Yeah. What do I get if I smear it out the wall?
What's next? What can I learn to do next?
Yeah, Joe Builds. That'd be a great series to make in the future, I reckon. That'd be super cool. It's about how much stuff can we do? How much stuff can we make that makes it more cost effective? Like I don't know how to, the right word for it, but make it like home friendly so that you don't have to. Because it's one thing to look at our table of terrain on the stream when we've got a room dedicated to storage of terrain. We've got companies. I took a delivery today, 2 boxes from urbanmats.com. Check them out. They do some fantastic terrain on urbanmats.com. I've used some of it before. We've still got some of it in the studio. I messaged them and said, we want to use some of your terrain in some of the content. They've sent me a couple of boxes of terrain to review for them for free, right? We're very lucky because of that. If one of you guys got hold of Urban Mats, they're going to be like, I want to send you terrain for free. Unless you have a YouTube channel with 30,000 people watching, right? So we're very lucky. We have a whole terrain room full of terrain and companies sending it to us. For the average person who plays with their mate at the weekend on the dinner table, whatever, like my brother sent me pictures in the past of him playing, which literally have like actual Pringles cans on the table.
Yeah.
There goes a tower, done. But that's what him and I used to do when we were kids. Here's the other thing: accessibility for children. Like you touched on that with the Warhammer 4000 thing. Like accessibility for kids is important as well, right? So when me and my brother were kids, we had an army each. We actually had a couple of armies each. They weren't a proper army. We were just collecting cool shit because we're kids. We had 4 sets of the little L-shaped ruins that came in one of the starter boxes. And they're little L-shaped ruins, tiny little ones. We had four of those, so 2 sets of 2, 4 in total. And every other piece of terrain we had was, but we used to use stacks of books, Pringles cans, like that was what it was. So you'd have like books stacked in different ways to make like a cool shape.
Cool.
Yeah, and we'd have we had like a green mat that you'd roll out, and then you'd put like a bowl underneath it, so you've got a hill. It's a very perfectly symmetrical hill, right? It's like fucking Teletubbies hill. It's perfectly round. And you couldn't stand anything on the side because it just goes bloop off the sides, especially the metal models, like a bang off the edge. But that was our terrain. And I think that's the experience for lots of kids, at least. That's their experience, right? It's books and tubs and tubes and shit. And it looks nothing like actual Battlefield, but we have to have something to stop us from just playing on Planet Bowling Ball. So it was interesting.
What could we call it?
What?
The terrain. Making terrain from random bits. Because we've got our dating channel, Naughty K.
Instead of Scrap Heap Challenge, we'll call it Scrap Heap Planet or something, I don't know. But yeah, that's what we used to do. I think it's fun.
No, something with Asherite in.
This is where you plug Titan's Terrain. Titan's Terrain is a fucking great product. Titan's Terrain is a great product as well, to be fair. If you don't have the space, Titan's Terrain is a fucking incredible product.
Tabletop looking like the Shire.
it perfectly rounded hill over a bowl. 100%. Chat, we are also 7 members off target right now with 23 minutes to go. Just 23 minutes to go.
Aw, Dan says, used to play on a duvet and pretend it was snow when I was as your glol. What does glol stand for? Is that kid talk that we're not cool enough to know yet because we don't have teenagers yet?
When I was as your glol. I think Dan's had a moment there.
Oh, all right.
I don't think that's...
When you're done with your moment, Dan, can you...
Liam's gash 40k terrain. It won't be me, Carl. It'll be Joe's gash 40k terrain. Joe's gubbins. Yeah, exactly. I know a guy who could teach you... Fuck off, you lot. Print out buildings, concrete and metal textures onto paper, and then you can wrap anything with it, and boom, you've got a duty to fight on. I love it. A city to fight on. That makes more sense. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Honestly, love that kind of stuff. What's the roadmap for your channel in the upcoming year? No idea, Yoni. I fucking couldn't tell you what's going on next week, to be honest with you. We have, in 2 weeks' time, we've got Peachy down again. We're looking into starting some more pre-recorded content because I think we're at capacity for live content right now. If we make any more live content, we're at the stage of diminishing returns. So live content doesn't bring in new subscribers, really. It does, but really fucking slowly. Really fucking slowly, as you can tell by this number up here, right? This number up here shows to you that it's really fucking slow, because we got to 32,000 at the turn of 30,000 at the turn of the year. That's as far as we've got. But then also that's because I'm not fucking buying them. Anyway, so turnover is quite slow for live content, and I spoke to my YouTube partner manager, who has said to us that live content means your channel grows slower. Hence, we introduced the Saga series, so we started some pre-recorded content. We do see sub growth off the Saga series, so it is a fact that pre-recorded content helps sub growth. And so we're looking at adding more pre-recorded content. The problem with pre-recorded content versus live content is pre-recorded content doesn't make fucking any money. So we then have to put time, effort, resource into making content that we know isn't going to make money, but will generate sub growth, and that sub growth might turn into more live viewers, and those live viewers might then turn into more monetization. It's a bit of a gamble. So we want to add in some pre-recorded content for sub growth in the hope that we can funnel it into. It works like a triangle, right? Viewers work like a triangle, from your non-subscribed, non-paying viewers who just skim your channel, to subscribers, to your live chatters and live viewers, to your super chatters, to your gifted members, to your members. All that. That's kind of how the funnel works, right? And our bottom piece, at the bottom two sort of sections at the moment of the triangle, are just kind of non-existent. We don't really have a funnel that brings people into becoming subscribers and then funnels them into being live viewers. So we'll get there eventually. We want to add some more pre-recorded stuff. I don't want to do just what everybody else does, though, because it's like battle reports. We can add those, but some of it's been done to death. So it's about how can I add not just battle reports, because I think they'll do well, but how can I add more stuff that is interesting and fun and exciting, like Joe's Gubbins, things like that, like him building terrain and stuff, or things that are more like rounded YouTube videos rather than just here's a battle report, here's two people playing a game, you can watch this live if you want to. Do you know what I mean? Because I think, I don't know, I struggle to watch pre-recorded battle reports because I find them boring. I'm okay with live because I can engage with other people in chat and with the creators that are doing it at the time. That's why I've always I like making live because I like watching live. Yeah. I don't like making pre-recorded because I don't like watching pre-recorded. Yeah? Get it? If I'm watching a battle report live and I can chat to other people in the chat, and we see it here all the time. You people often are talking to each other about shit, and I'll read a comment out and I'm like, what the fuck? This doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, oh, you're having a conversation. Okay.
I feel like
chicken tonight.
The terrain thing needs to have good alliteration, like homemade.
Oh, you're still on the name?
Yeah.
You're still on the catchy name for terrain?
Homemade something.
That's why Titan's terrain works so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Homemade mayhem? Or... No, that's not it.
Over to you, chat.
Because kids are really good at remembering really catchy stuff. That's why anything marketed towards kids has to be snappy. So...
Everyone else seems to talk nonsense and crowdfund.
That's not where I was going with it.
Joe's been pushing me hard to crowdfund a new camera. He wants a new camera. Not for him, for the studio. He wants an extra angle for cameras. And he's like, Liam, you should crowdfund a camera. I was like, no, I don't like it. If we had the extra camera, we'd better do all of our army intro videos and images that people want again. But we'll wait until we can afford it. And we'll get there eventually. But he's like, Liam, crowdfund it. I was like, we could do it satirically. That'd be funny.
Right.
Joe's Junkyard.
You came up with that?
Vortex Games, Joe's Junkyard.
Oh, I love it. Okay, that's a placeholder, but a very good one.
Always rely on chat, Luce. We always rely on the combined genius of chat and then I pass it off as my own.
Oh, homemade havoc? No, because terrain's going to stand still, isn't it? You don't. Havoc kind of implies it's going to move around.
Joe's juicy junk.
Children. We're marketing towards children.
We're starting to stretch into Joe's OnlyFans now, aren't we? That's the problem.
Yeah.
Hey. Homemade Mayhem oil about Lucy's baking company again.
No.
People are always surprised at how long it takes to film pre-recorded battle reports. Not just the filming though, because of Dragons, right? The fucking editing as well. Honestly, shite hammer. Thanks, Crouchy King.
Homemade.
Yeah, that's what Rambo Squirrel. That's what we're talking about, right? We need another camera to bring in some close-in shots. I've got an arm that I'm going to try and use, and there's things I want to do to try and make the production quality a little bit better again. But we need the extra camera, and what we'll also do with the extra camera is we'll be able to film, not a lot, it doesn't take a lot, but we'll be able to film army intros where we'll have an image, a close-up of the armies we're using, and then we can overlay over that the image that you currently see with all the units on top of it. I have a plan in my head as to how I want it to work. Like I said, Joe wants me to crowdfund it. I'm not comfortable with it. The Thanes will probably push me to crowdfund it, but I'm not comfortable with it. So maybe at some point in the future. But we'll see. Flock your bases. Crowdfund the camera with a sponsored Eldar painting stream. I got a sponsorship opportunity today through from a water thing.
Yeah, you said.
Smart water, right? I hate this. It fucking pisses me off. The channel's starting to get to a point where people are starting to offer to sponsor us. When I say sponsor us, what I mean is they pay us, so we run ads on the channel. But the ads that we run aren't YouTube ads. They're like, you see the big channels when they go, and now a moment to hear from our sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by squarespace.com, blah, 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 all those kinds of things. Like you see it all the time on YouTube, especially the bigger ones. And then websites like Squarespace and stuff.
Dempsey DIY. You're welcome.
Thank you, Alekman, for the 2Ds. There's a reason why they do these sponsored ad placements, right? It's because actual YouTube ad revenue is fucking bullshit. You make nothing.
Just do what the BBC does. Have subscribers send you free content on a particular topic and then edit it into your own commentary-themed video.
You want me to go You've Been Framed Hobby Edition? I'm not against it. There's crowdfunding and crowdfunding. I'm pretty sure you would put all your morals in a box. Yes. So, talking about morals, this is my point, right? So, the reason why people do these sponsored... Thanks, by the way, Martin, for the 5. The reason why people do these sponsored ad placements is simply ad revenue from YouTube is worth fuck all, right? And I mean, every ad that you watch on a YouTube channel gifts the creator something like 0.02 cents, I think, right? So, 10 ads that you watch is 0.2 cents. So 100 ads that you watch is 2 cents, right? It's worth fuck all. It doesn't. So we don't make a lot of ad revenue, okay? So when they do these sponsored ad placements, this episode is sponsored by Squarespace.com. It's because those companies will come and be like, how much to put a 30-second ad read on your channel, and the creator will say $500, $1,000, whatever it might be, and then they'll go, yeah, that's reasonable. So that one episode, if they say it's $500, that one episode they've made $500 guaranteed. They now know that the money they put into making the episode is they've got it back, so they've broke even. So then when all the ad revenue comes through from YouTube, that's profit, right? Mm-hmm. Minimum. For most of the bigger channels, at least, even the ad read itself will be profit. It won't. They'll be making money just because of the ad sponsor. And we've started to get emails through now about sponsored content on YouTube. And the first part of this fucking whole email that I got pisses me off instantly, right? So I opened this up at 9:45 this morning. And the title of the email, Cooperation on YouTube, right? The first line fucks me off. Hello, dear YouTuber. And then it continues to fuck me off. I trust this message reaches you in good spirits. I am reaching out to you representing Smart Water, famous for its top-tier water. Smart Water, famous for its top-tier water, steam distilled for unmatched purity. We have been impressed with your YouTube channel's ability to consistently deliver engaging and inspiring content, establishing a strong connection with your audience. We are thrilled at the prospect of partnering with you to feature a 30-second Smart Water commercial at the start of one of your videos. Smart Water is celebrated for its crisp taste and superior hydration. It's water, which we are confident will appeal to your health-conscious audience. Right?
Right, they're not watching.
What that's just told me is they haven't got a fucking clue about my channel.
Because on Fridays we're not drinking water.
What that tells me is they haven't got a fucking clue about the channel. First of all, dear YouTuber, I mean, my channel name is my fucking name. It's not hard to say, dear Liam. It's not difficult, that, right? So that is not, that they've not paid any attention at all. What they've done is they've gone email blast. Send it to everybody. Send the same email to everybody, right? They've then said, right, after talking bullshit about water, we have been impressed with your YouTube channel's ability to consistently deliver engaging, inspiring content, establishing a strong connection with your audience. That's generic speak. That's bollocks, right? That's absolute bollocks. They have no idea what I'm doing at all. No interest whatsoever, no idea, right? It then goes on to that last bit, right? I'm sorry, chat. I love you all. I love all 160 people in chat. I love everybody that's watching this on demand. I love everybody that's subscribed. I do. I love everyone that's gifting. I love everyone that's... You're all amazing people. You're all incredible people. But I'm sorry, this is not a sentence I ever thought I would hear someone describe the wargaming community. We are confident will appeal to your health-conscious audience. Whilst Joe is on stream burping, farting, drinking a can of Monster. If there was a sentence that was the opposite of describing a wargamer community, that's probably the sentence, right?
Ooh.
Now I have no idea what their offer is. I have no idea how much I could go back with, and this is where sometimes in the world of being a creator, morals is a negative, right? And I'll explain. Because realistically, if a company like Smart Water is prepared to pay me, let's say, £500 for an ad read, right? That's about what it's not even. It's probably more than what an episode makes normally anyway. And I know you're all going to go, well, you normally get around 100 members, and that's 500 quid, but it's not, because YouTube takes 30% immediately. Okay. So actually, if they were like, if I was to say to them £500 for an ad read, and they said yes, and we did the £500 ad read, and we made our normal amount of members and our normal amount of super chats, we're probably more than doubling the usual revenue. Okay. So in essence, no conscience, it would be like, okay, if I can get it for this much money, it's a no-brainer. It makes sense to do it for 30-second ad read. My conscience kicks in and goes, I would never buy or drink that product in my whole life. I'm not buying Smart Water.
What does it do that makes it so smart?
It doesn't say. So it literally says...
Does it have like molecules in that...
If I go back into my emails... Hang on, I've got to find it from this morning. I get many.
Does it make you smarter? Smart Water, if you drink it, there's extra stuff in there.
All it says is, Smart Water, famous for its top-tier water, steam distilled for unmatched purity. It then says, Smart Water is celebrated for its crisp taste and superior hydration. Our objective is to produce a commercial that both promotes Smart Water and adds value to your content by presenting viewers with useful information about the benefits of our high-quality water. We will work closely with you to ensure the integration is authentic and resonates with your audience. We have developed some concepts on how to incorporate our ads into the start of your video without disrupting its flow. Our collaboration can result in a partnership that advantages both your channel and our brand, delivering an enriched and enjoyable experience to your viewers. If you are interested in considering this opportunity, we would be happy to discuss how we can customize our commercial to complement your unique style and effectively engage your viewers. We are excited about the prospect of working together to produce something truly unforgettable. Best regards, Smart Water. It's steam distilled. This is about all I know.
So it's like the water from the tumble dryer then? It was steam. Now it's settled in a
It's just
tank.
the bottled water they sell at the gas station. It is, yeah. Yeah, isn't Smart Water that anti-theft system that meerkats give you to put on your motorbike? I've no idea. High class water, my fucking arse. But I think the thing that annoys me the most is the thing that I think really annoys me the most is the lack of personalization with this particular email blast.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't take a lot of effort. My channel name is my name.
Well, also,
And they clearly don't watch any of my content.
let's say that you were like, actually, yeah, you know, because we've got our health thread in the Discord, and I have my Instagram gym thing. So yeah, okay, we'll do Smart Water. how far back to the drawing board will this guy go who email blasted you, and then his boss to say, "Oh my God, have you actually watched his stuff? Like, we can't sponsor him."
So the other thing as well is I've had this experience 2 or 3 times so far, where I've started talking to a company about sponsorship because I've looked at it and said and gone, I could use that product actually.
Yeah.
And so I've started talking to them, and they go, okay, so cool. So and we back and forth, and then they go, well, the process is you create the 30-second advert for it, right? You put it into your video, you upload your video, leave it private, send it to us, we'll approve the ad. If we're happy with it, you launch the video, we'll pay you. Okay. I'm like, that's 100% told me you've never watched the video that I do. It's all pre-recorded, it's all live. So I can't do that. Yeah. So on one occasion, they were like, oh, okay. Well, what you can do is you can make the ad, send us the ad, and when you go live, hit the roll button on the advert, run the advert as an advert like we do currently for like Siege or whatever. We could do that. I was like, yeah, that's cool. We can do that. But you have just proven to me that you've not watched any of my content whatsoever. So, ask for 6.5k. Lol. Unbelievable. Anyway, chat, we are 7 minutes away. 7 minutes away from the end. 7 members away. A member a minute keeps a doctor away.
I'm still trying to work on
Joe's junkyard. Joe's junk in his trunk.
No.
Can we get, from 7 of you, 1 single membership to push us up to 100 members on Wednesday? Can we do that? Can we do that? I'll do it for $1 million. The downside as well is you can't agree a price and just do what the fuck you want. High class water, more O's per H. But I don't think that's how it works, Eric.
Liam, take the money and turn the plug in the video into a light-hearted piss take by you where we all log and fund the channel with some satire.
If I could get away with that, I would satire the shit out of all these adverts, because Rage Yellow Legends have been in touch as well. Lord of Cinder, thank you for the 1 gifted. Oh, I said 7, chat. I said 7. Oh. Christopher Sanford, PlayStation Glosser, thank you for the 5. I love the fact you've left that name there, by the way. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships, you beautiful human being. Roland Bain, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships, you absolute hero. We did it. We smashed through. Very average paramedic gift 1, thank you so much. I would, but I'm a scrounger. I'll allow it. I've also never tasted smart water, to be fair. It might be nice. I'd imagine it's dog shit. But thank you so much for all those gifted, you fucking beautiful humans. We smashed through that target then. Look at that. If they said to me, if I messaged them and said, can I do something satirical, and they let me get away with it, I'd be more open to it. But what's also going to happen is, no doubt, is I'll go back to them and be like, yeah, we're interested. And then they'll be like, cool, can you send us your analytics? I'll be like, no, because apparently you've watched my channel. So why does the analytics matter? Happy to catch you live again. Got behind and trying to catch up. I'm also over a year old on the channel now. Legend. Thanks, Snazzy. Joe the Junkie. Yeah, maybe. It smells like water. It's not the greatest reach out, Liam, for sure. It isn't in a place to expect to ask demand and get more than their low offer. They are a corporate company with so many others saying yes. Though it's not greatest reach out. Oh, hang on, I can't keep up now because it's moving. Liam for sure isn't in a place to expect to ask demand and get more than their. Yeah, of course. They're not gonna 100%. They're not gonna do anything crazy for us. We're not a big channel, let's be honest. Johan, thank you for the 1 gifted. We got to 110 people. Thank you so much. Fucking legends. You're all legends. Amazing people. I must be a Chinese gymnast to keep dodging these memberships, or Olympic breakdancer.
Jodeptus Mechanicus.
Jodeptus Mechanicus. I still like Joe's Junkyard. Smart water tastes like paste. I've never tried it. I couldn't. I've had it. It tastes like, wait for it, water. That's a satirical advert right there. Smells like water. Tastes like water. Do you think we could get Joe to drink smart water, right, satirically, and it could be like dishevelled hair and mess Joe, and we could get him to take a sip of it, and when it comes down, he's got glasses on, straightened beard, nice hair, shirt, tie. Joe got smart. I'm here for it.
You're probably creating a few lawsuits for them there.
No, water makes you smarter.
Yes, but the advert is heavily implying.
Yeah, of course. Have you got a fax for us yet?
Nope.
I see you searching. I see you searching.
They be waiting.
Oh, incredible. Incredible. Right, chat. We're just waiting for Luce to find a fact for you people. In the bit you've all been waiting for before I fuck off. Because I need to get an early night in bed because
My magic curry.
yeah.
Oh, I need to put that in Discord, don't I?
You sent it to Tom, yeah.
Yeah.
Joe wearing glasses, it'd be a hard sell. You've already given Joe a hernia by stopping him drinking Monster. He didn't stop drinking it yesterday. That's part of the problem. He probably burst into flames drinking water. Yeah, part of the problem for Joe and his stomach is that he didn't stop drinking Monster. He's never stopped drinking Monster. And I wouldn't be surprised if he told his doctors his actual diet. They'd be like, "We found one.
Yeah.
We have. It's time for loose fact, team. Loose fact. It's the bit that you all fucking tune in an hour and a half before to wait for. One day, what we're gonna do, right, is we're gonna throw in a loose fact half an hour in.
Why?
Just like keep them on the toes.
Right. Okay.
So you can't just tune in for the last 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Yeah. So it's time for loose fact. Basically, Lucy's going to read you a fact from her book of facts, and we have to use those commas now, those inverted commas, because so many of these have been absolute nonsense, right? So she's going to read you a fact, and you have to decide if you think it's true or false, loose or loose, right? True or false, loose or loose. If it's true, you spell loose as per her name, Luce. If it's false and absolute bullshit, you spell it not as per her name, Loose, right? Like it's a loose fact, it's not true. Or it's a loose fact. Luce told us a fact and it was true. Okay? It's really simple, really easy.
Mm-hmm.
I have to spell it out nowadays because I've seen some fucking abortions as well, how people have spelt your name in the past.
I know what they mean.
Anyway, true or false, here's your fact.
A scientist who studies farts is called a flotologist.
Why do they have... Why?
There's a scientist for everything.
There is, isn't there? There's a phobia for everything as well, apparently.
Yeah.
You can Google like the phobia of coat hangers and it'll come up.
Oh, is there one?
Yeah, there will be.
I'm Googling.
Do the reverse Liam and have Joe come back down as himself and be like, smart one makes you smarter, but Joe, he's helpless. I'm going to call my shot and say loose. It's before you even said it, by the way. Kai says Jeff.
Okay. It's a real phobia.
Yeah, see?
And it's called cremastrophobia.
Yeah?
Cremastrophobia.
There'll also be like there'll be a phobia of water bottles. There's a phobia of everything. Exactly. Chat's kind of torn on this one. Most people don't feel like it's a thing. Loose fart.
Oh, plastophobia. That one's...
Yeah, see? There's a phobia of everything. I told you. Absolute fact. I'm just stealing your thunder here. Giving you actual facts. They're not having most of them aren't having the flotologist thing, though.
Loose fart.
Yeah, most of them are not having the flotologist thing, right? I thought it was fartology.
What do you think a taxonomist is?
A taxonomist?
Yeah.
Dead animals? Go on.
They're not all dead. But did you get there from taxidermy?
Yes.
Okay, because a taxonomist is a scientist of animals.
Yes.
But James was straight away of, oh, that's money because of taxes.
But he doesn't, but he's never heard of taxidermy, I guess, as well.
No.
He will do soon.
Yeah, I haven't told him about it.
He will do soon. When she dies, get her head on the wall.
No, I'm forbidding it. She's not allowed to.
Foreboding.
I'm forbidding it. It has been forbode.
I don't know if Eston's being serious here or not, but he reckons it's a whole different name. If it exists, there's a phobia or porn of it. There is, yeah. True.
Oh yes.
Or both. 100%. The study of funny farts is called a pervert. Autophobia is a fear of oneself. And sounds awful. Being scared of yourself, you'd have to have a house with no mirrors. Shart water. Oh, every time we go over 9 o'clock, Amy fucking logs off. And someone has to super chat.
Shall I do it?
In her voice?
No, I can't talk like Amy.
Why?
All I can say is custodes.
Custodes.
That's it.
Don't worry, Eston. We'll wait for you, mate. We'll wait for you, Eston. Don't worry. We're keeping you up.
No, I think I've still got the effects of that curry. While we're waiting for it, Eston, I'll put it in.
Loose. They are gastroenterologist.
I don't know if that's true.
No, I think they're studying just farts, not the gut biome or the gastric.
Hippopotamus trosequipedophilia is a fear of long words. Oh, well. Anywho, thanks for that, nobody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, chat. You people have been amazing. Interesting. I think I'm settled on going... At the moment, my brain is saying full custom scheme Eldar, including Aspect Warriors, which will upset Joe. It does mean I have to buy another squad of Banshees at some point in the future because I've got one painted that I don't want to paint over because I really like it. So I think I'm going to go down that route. I think I'm going to go full custom craft or the whole thing, go for a completely uniformed elf approach and see what it looks like. I think that's where I'm going to go to start with. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. You've been absolutely fucking incredible and I love you dearly. You smashed the membership target again. We can't say thank you enough. Like Luce always says.
Best chat.
Best chat, right? Thank you so much, you beautiful people. Tomorrow, we're back at 1:30 with the Liam and Paddy show because Joe's still on holiday, this selfish bastard. He put a message in Thane today. It's like, sat in Butlins eating something pizza. I can't remember what the brand was. Ooh. Such an English thing to do, right? So we've got Liam and Paddy show tomorrow, and it's also me and Paddy tomorrow night. It's going to be Eldar versus Tau. The Eldar return, the Tau return. Lots of Xenos, lots of fun, okay? So do that tomorrow night. Friday, so don't be shy tomorrow, because Friday is a maybe stream. It depends on what time I walk in this door and how tired I am. If I walk in the door at like 8:30, 9, and I feel okay, and Luce is up for it, I might do an hour stream. If I walk in the door at that sort of time and I'm fucked, you've got no chance. So it's a maybe for Friday, but it won't be normal time. It'll be a bit later, which will keep the people from Australia happy, at least. And then we roll into the weekend and we chill out. Next week, we come back with a full schedule. Full schedule next week. So look forward to that one. Thanks for hanging out anyway, you amazing people. Thank you for all your ideas and your input and your chin wagging. I always feel a bit better coming off of a stream.
Yeah?
That's why I always force myself to do it.
Smell what I'm cooking.
Don't start the L's. Thanks for the 10, Rollins, you legend. And your 10th ever super chat, you fucking hero. I always go, I don't want to stream. I'm tired, I'm grumpy, I'm annoyed. But I do it because it's my fucking job. And so you can't just pick and choose when you work. You've got to work. Mm-hmm. And I always come off the stream feeling a little bit better. So thank you for that, people. You're amazing. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.